Hello everybody, and today I'm going to be drawing a car from two different angles. Okay, I'm going to be starting with a 4H pencil, quite a light pencil, and I'm going to draw some rectangles. So my first rectangle is going to be a bit longer than that, I think. Well, maybe that's about right. Yeah, that's about right. So I've got one rectangle like that, and then about a quarter of the way along, I'm going to do another rectangle on the top, like that. Let's center the shapes a bit. So I've got one rectangle on the top, one bigger rectangle on the bottom, and then using these shapes as a guide, I'm going to kind of chisel into them, imagining if they're like pieces of stone. But then also, we're not beholden to the rectangles. We can go outside of the rectangles like that. This shape is just meant to be a rough guide to get the different shapes in of the car, and that's all we're doing at the moment. They're very rough shapes. Best thing when you're drawing a car is to use use reference material. So find a car design that you like, and try and get a good picture of the car, and then try and imagine what shapes you can break it down into. Okay. With the wheels, one thing to be really careful of is that usually I see people when they're drawing cars, they'll put the wheel about halfway into the car and halfway out of the car. Usually wheels go about 2/3 into the car, 1/3 out, maybe even a bit more than that. Sometimes it depends on the car. If it's I think that vehicles that have to go on more difficult terrain, they will have wheels that are about 50-50 in and out of the car. Okay, and I'm just going to have a very vague idea. I'm just going to put very vaguely down where the doors are going to be as well. Just get a general idea of that. Now I think, and actually what that can do is then it helps you to realize whether you need to make the car a bit wide, a bit longer. Maybe I'm going to bring this wheel along a bit. And I think we're fairly near there. I'm just gonna, yeah, I think that's a good. Those are some good shapes to start the drawing with. So now I've got a HB pencil, a darker pencil than a 4H, and I'm going to use these shapes as my guide to draw the actual car on top. Okay. Another thing with the wheels, you've got to leave a gap around the edge and then put the wheel in the middle. And drawing shapes is actually really hard. It's not the easiest thing to be able to draw a good circle. I don't even think that's a perfect circle myself, but over time you will get better at drawing shapes freehand like that, and you can get sets of like set squares and things like that can help in drawing shapes. Okay, so I'm going just continuing the rest of the general shape of the car. Slopes more up actually like that, so I'm going to add that in. Come down like that. And that is the general shape. Now I'm going to add in things like the lights either side. And other details. Now, for the purposes of this video, I'm not going to put in insane amounts of detail. I'm just going to put in the general things on a car that you need for it to be a car. So I've got the doors, the door mirror here. But you could go crazy really. There's lots of detail in a car. But as I say, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to try and keep it fairly simple. Bring this wheel back a little bit. You can always tweak as you go, but it's good to, the reason why it's good to get those shapes down first is that the more mistakes you make, if you don't put you'll make more mistakes if you don't put down the basic shapes to begin with. That's the general rule. Okay, let's put in a little bit of detail on the wheels. But again, I'm not going to worry about making it perfect or huge amounts of detail. Okay. Now this wheel as well. Circle there. Okay, well, let's do that. Okay, so and the backlight as well. I forgot to put in the backlight and the petrol thingy. I'm only learning to drive at the moment, so I actually don't really know what the names are for a lot of these different things. Okay, great. So that is the car from the front. I'm now going to do the car from the side. So we need similar shapes, but, well, it's a similar idea. You have to sort of get it into your head that because it is not the same shapes, but it's a similar idea in that we have a largish .3D rectangular shape. see, is that long enough? Yep. Almost off the edge of the page. So we've got one rectangle, well, 3D sort of oblong shape, and then we want to have one that goes over there like that. Okay. I am going, because I'm running out of space on the edge of this page, I'm going to make this shape longer this way. Make this shape longer this way. And I'm going to bring this shape up slightly as well, because I'm just thinking I'll need that. Okay, so we have the rectangular shapes. Now, using these shapes, again, we are going to use them as a guide to draw the actual car shape underneath. I'm going to get in the... What you actually can do, this is what I've done, is the photograph I'm drawing from, you can actually draw, if you print something off, you can draw shapes over the photograph and then use that as your guide so that you know exactly where the car will be at the shapes you've done here on the page. Obviously that means you have to do the shapes really well, which is what I tried to do, and I suppose we will see whether I did it right. Okay, other wheel. With the wheels, it's the car is on its side now, so these wheels are going to be more like ovals instead of circles. If you think about this rubber and how it's circle, but then if we turn it, this circular area on the rubber, if we turn it like that, it becomes slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. And it's the same thing with the car, with the wheels, with any part of it, really. Okay, I'm going to bring that down a bit, and that is a good starting point, I think, for drawing the rest of the car. Well, drawing the actual drawing on top. So light here. There's another little bit of a light there. And it could be that you get the vague shapes of each part of the car down as well, all the little bits of detail. Eventually, you can learn to eyeball some of the bits, but if you're struggling, by all means, just get all these bits down as like a big rectangle here for this like for this part of the car. Again, I don't really know what the names of these things are. I think it's a grid or a gate or something. And now people who know car shapes and names are going to be going, "No, Ben, it's not called that." But you can see what it is. Okay, we're continuing the general shape. And the general shape underneath as well. Okay. Windscreen there. Door mirror. As I said, I'm learning to drive at the moment. My instructor is very adamant that these are called door mirrors, not wing mirrors, which I think he's very right about, because where is the wing, as he puts it? If they were wing mirrors, there would be some kind of wing. Okay, almost there. Just going to put in a little bit of detail for the wheels. Oh, done that wrong. Different pattern. It goes outwards like that. And it's actually more complicated than that, but it gets the general idea across. And I think that a lot of the time that is all you need to do for your drawing. Put in a few more lines for the gridding on the car here. Just a couple more bits of detail. And there is the basic car. And as I say, I could keep going and keep putting in more detail, but there is your general shapes of car. So we've got side and the sort of diagonal 3/4 length side of the car. Thank you for watching this video. Have a go of drawing a car yourself. Please do like this video. Please do give a comment. I'd love some suggestions of what you'd like to learn to draw. And please subscribe. Yeah, thank you very much for watching.